And now, Brandon Six Boy Schaub.
Yo, it is Monday morning, April 14th. God, April's flying by. April is flying by. It was hot all last week. Now it's a little chillier. That's how it goes. It is 9:26 a.m. on this gorgeous, gorgeous Monday morning. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Happy Monday, kids. Nice little weekend full of baseball as usual. Big tournament coming up. This Friday, Saturday. Technically our first travel ball tournament. Looking forward to that. Tee pitched over the weekend, balled out. Kids can't catch pop flies. He was going to have a no-hitter. And then kids drop pop flies. Very frustrating. Very frustrating. I got to sit around with other parents and pretend their kids aren't god-awful. I'm like, oh, look at him. He's like, at least he's trying. I'm like, yeah, he sure is. He sure is. Do you have a razor blade and a warm bath you can draw me? Thank you. But let's just talk about the fights. There's a lot to get into. My word, this is why we love the UFC. UFC 314. We knew it was tasty on paper, and boy, did it freaking deliver. Good God. The main card delivered like you wouldn't believe, kids. I got a little upset when in the prelims, the co-main event, the prelims before Dan Ige. You're just watching low-level MMA there, and it's forced upon us. It's like tuning in to the Lakers and Dallas Mavericks, and you're forced to watch the WNBA. You're like, hey, man, maybe they should start an Invicta UFC women's division, because that fight kind of takes the wind out of your sails. And then the referee totally dropped the ball in Dan Ige's stoppage, even though he's beating the brakes off of him. But let the guy go out in his shield. Sean Woodson got robbed. He's too tall. You're too tall, right, for featherweight. But that's nor here nor there. Let's get to the main card. God, it was juicy. Dominic Reyes. How can you not love Dom? Boy, did he go into a K-hole when he lost to John Jones. He got robbed. A lot of people think he won that fight. It was close. Go back and watch it. Super close fight. Closest John's ever been to being beat. And then he just gets started. I think it just took the motivation. It took just the wind out of his sails. And then he gets knocked out 3 straight. You're like, okay, Dominic Reyes is done. Especially at light heavyweight. Chin's gone. Vicious knockouts. He takes a hot second off. Comes back. Now he's won 3 in a row at light heavyweight, and he's starching, folks. Look at that. He didn't win a fight for 2 years. It's not like he didn't win. He lost to John in 2020 of February. He's like, you know what? All good. I'll come back. Fights Jan, gets starched. He's like, okay, that's not good, but 2 of the top guys, let me fight Yuri. These are all savages. Gets absolutely mollywopped by Yuri with a spinning back elbow. That kind of creates the whole hype on Yuri. Then the UFC is like, all right, we're giving you some tough guys. Here's Ryan Spann, who's not a world beater, but you should be able to beat him. He gets starched in the first round, KO again. And he goes, all right, I'm going to take some time off. I'm going to take 2 years off. Beats Justin Jacoby, good fighter. Knocked him out. Then Anthony Smith, solid fighter, solid as they get. And then Krylov, who's in the top 12, and then starches him. Very Aldo McGregor-like, with Krylov rushing in and then just gets clipped. So shout out to Dominic Reyes, man. God, the mental fortitude to stay in there and just keep doing the damn thing. Good for him. You can go back to the main thing, Jim. And then I was like, I kind of forgot about the way the card was lined up. And I'm like, I'm sitting there with the family and friends, and I'm like, here we go. And then Jean Silva and Bryce Mitchell come out. And you're like, oh, shit, the people's main event is here. My main event was Paddy Pimblett Chandler, which we'll get to. But Silva and Mitchell, you're like, here we go. This is the narrative. Like I said, this is supposed to be a disciplinary fight for Bryce Mitchell after saying all that crazy shit and thinking the earth is flat and wants to party with Hitler and all that crap. So they gave him Silva, and I went on record saying, you think this is discipline? This is a tough fight for Silva. This ain't no walk in the park. You look at his previous record. He's been taken down. Bryce Mitchell can grapple. Like, this is a tough fight. But I said I won't bet on this if Bryce Mitchell's not getting sleep. And then you see very early on, that motherfucker got no sleep. I don't know if that's why he looked terrible. He looked awful. He looked awful. It's a very Donnie, get Bubba. Donnie's all up in the cords. Get him out of there. See? Yeah, all up in the cords. There you go. Sorry about that, folks. Bryce Mitchell looked bad. He looked bad. Worst performance he's had yet. It takes a special character like a Colby. Not that, Colby didn't say anything about Hitler and anti-Semitic, but for Bryce Mitchell, what he's been going through and the backlash he's been getting, and rightfully so. He said some wild shit. But it takes a special type of fighter to be able to kind of silence all that and still get to work and pretend it's not going on, or even if it's going on, use it as motivation. For a guy like Bryce Mitchell, it wasn't that he used as motivation. It kind of hindered his camp, hindered his performance. His focus was off. His entries to his takedowns were so amateur. It was so bad. So Silva looked fantastic. Looked like he can compete for a top 5 spot. I'm not taking anything away from Silva. Bryce Mitchell didn't look like a top 50 guy Saturday night. Bryce Mitchell looked like the social media got to him. The naysayers got to him. He was almost submitted before he got caught with that ninja choke. Just the basics were not being checked off with his takedowns. It just looked awful. That's why I would never bet money on that fight, because Bryce has never been in this situation, and boy did he not answer the call. He didn't answer the call. This could have went a lot worse for him. Getting choked out unconscious, eyes open, that's bad. That's pretty bad. If Silva would have took this a little more serious, and this is what the UFC wanted. What Paddy Pimblett did to Michael Chandler, that's what they wanted Silva to do to Bryce Mitchell. But Silva was kind of messing around. Like in the walkout, it's a jolly old good time. He's high-fiving. He keeps pushing this thing where he jumps on the cage and barks like a dog. I don't know if you saw it. He asked the camera to do it once. He asked photographers to do it once. And he did it twice again. I'm like, okay, quit trying to put fetch on us, bud. It's just not working. That's his thing. If Silva would have took this fight a little more, I think Bryce Mitchell's takedowns, Silva was never in any jeopardy. He just shut all that shit down. It was so basic. So I just think Silva was just like, oh my God, dude. Like the striking wasn't there. The movement was slow. The takedowns weren't set up. And he was just fucking around that first round. I'm like, God, dude, just get to work and you're going to starch this dude. You're going to fucking starch this cat. Finally, by the second round, it started to land. It started getting a little more comfortable. And the chokes were there. Anytime Bryce, even the first round, anytime Bryce went for a takedown, the submission was there from the jump. And Silva would have saw that if he wasn't distracted by all this hype. Now, both of them don't have Bryce has more experience, obviously fought to a period, but neither of them have experience at this level, this magnitude of a fight. And I think for Silva too, it was a lot to deal with. You're fighting kind of your first ranked guy. He'll definitely be in the top 10 now, I'd assume. I think Bryce was 12, but it's hard to argue that Silva's not a top 10 guy. He looked like a world beater if he was focused for the entire fight, but even he was a little unfocused, and then Bryce Mitchell was just out of his league. You can't watch that. If you knew nothing about either of these guys, you watch that fight, you're like, hold up, that guy's the top 12? There's no way. That guy's top 12 in the world? Not a chance. Not a chance. Again, chalk it up to Silva's family putting a spell on Bryce Mitchell, him not getting sleep. Chalk it up to whatever you want, but Bryce just was not ready for the moment. He wasn't. And what's crazy, too, is Bryce Mitchell had the fan support. Man, he was I thought he was gonna be a heel in this fight with all the wild shit he said, but turned out he was kind of a baby face. He was kind of the fan favorite. He was getting cheered. They're chanting USA. That ain't the one to do it, man. He just got fucking mollywopped. And I don't know how it ends for him. I don't know. He's training a small camp in Arkansas with chickens on the ranch there. I don't know. It's not good. For Silva, sky's the limit. Young man, you got to stay focused. We don't want to see you playing grab ass and beating this guy in the second round. Like, you got to take care of business early on, because Bryce Mitchell can be the easiest guy he's fought. After this, dude, it's murder's row. And especially now, the way the UFC works, especially at the featherweight division. I'd like to see Silva, Diego Lopes. I'd like to see Silva versus Yair Rodriguez. That's where he's at. That's where he's at. His easiest test was Bryce Mitchell. So the verdict's still out on Silva. I know the fight nerds are killing it. They're undefeated. I'm a huge fan of them. But I'm not ready to say Silva can compete with a Topuria yet. Not based off this performance. He checked the box. He did his job. He annihilated Bryce Mitchell. Bryce looked absolutely horrific. Bryce fights Diego, Yair, Volkanovski, any of those top cats, Ortega, they fucking mollywop him in 2 minutes. That's not a competition. If that Bryce that showed up, the distracted, unfocused, has a spell on him, not sleeping Bryce, that guy's going to have some trouble surviving the UFC. Who knows? Maybe he'll learn from this and go back to the drawing board and get back on the winning path, but it's going to depend on the matchup they give him. But striking-wise, it's just not there. The grappling was not there. That's tough. That was a tough night for him. Very tough. Then you had Yair Rodriguez. Dude, talk about this is basically a tournament of featherweights. So you had Yair Rodriguez, Patricio Pitbull. This one's tough. Yair looked fantastic. Patricio, he's just kind of following Yair the whole time, getting picked apart. Yair was never really in any trouble. Probably the worst fight on the main card if you have to pick one. Not a bad fight, but out of out of all the fights, you're just like, all right, you kind of knew what was going to happen the first round. Like, okay, it's going to go like this. Okay, got it. That's how it's going to go. Patricio Pitbull just came over to the UFC too late. He'll never be a world beater in the UFC. Any of the top 5 guys beat him. For Yair, he's kind of in a weird position because he only has one win, right? He lost to Brian Ortega, and then he beat older, weathered Patricio Pitbull. He got absolutely dominated by the current champion, Volkanovski. Could you do that rematch, especially in Guadalajara, like he wants to? You could. I don't. But Volkanovski wants to be active. He wants to get right back in. I think he should take some more time off. I just don't see a huge calling for that fight. I don't think Yair's done enough. I think you do. This is a no-brainer. This fight writes itself, and they set it up. They made the matchup themselves. Shelby can kind of take a seat and grab a cup of coffee for this one. This one matches itself. Yair Rodriguez, Diego Lopes is the fight. They can't stand each other. There's a history there. They're in camp together. There's a lot to chew on there. And it just makes more sense. I just can't see them giving a Yair Rodriguez a title shot against Alexander Volkanovski after winning one fight. Prior to that, he lost to Brian Ortega. And then he lost to Volkanovski. That fight wasn't even close against Volkanovski. So I think Yair Rodriguez, Diego Lopes. And also, for Diego Lopes, it makes sense. I know. Why would you match up a guy that won one in Yair against a guy who lost? Because he fought the champ. And Diego Lopes, Yair Rodriguez seems a little more of Diego Lopez's speed. We'll get to that main event. Let's take a little break here. What does a mechanic, auto shop owner in Georgia, a taco restaurant operator in Arizona, and a life-saving medical innovator in Tennessee all have in common? Well, they're all small businesses, and they're thriving on TikTok. She Mechanic, AZ Taco King, and CPR Rap are just 3 of the 7.5 million businesses across the U.S. that are using TikTok to compete and grow. From family-run establishments to entrepreneurs, 74% of businesses on TikTok say the platform has allowed them to scale their operations, increase sales, and expand to new locations. And the growth means jobs. Today, millions of businesses on TikTok employ more than 28 million people and counting. Small businesses thrive on TikTok. Learn more about TikTok's contribution to the U.S. economy at tiktokeconomicimpact.com. In the co-main event, which is my main event, Paddy Pimblett, Michael Chandler. Paddy absolutely dominated Michael Chandler. I mean, it wasn't even a competition. There's nothing there. And I keep telling you guys, and it's not too late. Come on board. It's not too late to get on this Paddy Pimblett train. I've been on it for a hot second. Again, I've worked with everybody. There's no one more engaging, more star quality, no one that just draws every ounce of attention when they walk in the room like Paddy Pimblett. The only guy that was able to do that was Conor McGregor. I keep telling you guys, Paddy's the next, the closest thing. There won't be ever be another Conor. The closest thing we have is Paddy Pimblett. And he checked another box tonight, and people are like, oh, he's actually better than I thought. Yes. If you watch his film, you can tell the kid checks all the fucking boxes. He's going to keep proving you wrong. Very similar to Conor. And there's nothing better than their come up. Get on the train now. Paddy Pimblett is going to be a massive, he already is. But as far as like global massive superstar, Paddy Pimblett is the next global superstar for the UFC. Michael Chandler. And also, here's this. Now, the naysayers will say, well, Paddy beat Michael Chandler. He's lost whatever it is, 5 of his last 6. Yeah, but he's competed against the best of the best. He's had some moments of success against the very best. His fight against Charles Oliveira, hate to tell you, Paddy beat Michael Chandler way worse than Charles Oliveira. Way worse. Let me ask you this. Do you think if there were 2 more rounds, Chandler would have survived? He'd been finished. He got finished in this one, in the 3rd. Now, if it went 2 more rounds, how bad do you think it would have got? Took Charles a hot second, and Charles was in a lot of danger with Chandler, especially in their first fight. Now, second fight, Charles dominated him, but especially at the end, he stuck around, had moments of success. Name one moment of success Chandler had in this fucking fight. When he kind of took him down and did nothing, there wasn't a lot of success for Chandler. There just wasn't. For Paddy, I keep telling you guys, before I make this Paddy point, let me go back to Chandler. What a shame. Chandler waited 2 years for Conor McGregor. 2 years, and what is he, 38? 2 years, man. This isn't how it's supposed to go. Chandler was supposed to fight Conor McGregor and get the bag. Conor was supposed to come off that injury, all the shit he's been through, the lawsuit, all that, and fight an older fighter. That's how this was supposed to go. They both signed up for this. Because that older Chandler versus Conor, that's a fight. That's a fun fight. You're like, oh shit, Conor might be able to do it. He could clip him, you know. It's not like Chandler takes guys down Khabib style or Paddy Pimblett style and looks for a finish. And he kind of takes him down, rides him a little bit. They get back to the feet, takes him down again. He has the one-shot knockout power. It's a great fight for Conor. It's a fun fight. You can see Conor winning that. That fight's over. That's never happening. Conor Chandler's never happening. And because this long layoff, Chandler's waiting, then they give you the young lion from Liverpool, and he beats the shit out of him. That's supposed to be Conor's night. Now, you're not getting Conor Chandler. It's never happening. Chandler maybe has one more from probably a 15 through 10 guy, but it's kind of over for him. It just is what it is. It's all good. He had a great career, great UFC career, great Bellator career, world champion, right? So now, and I keep fucking telling you guys this. This is how it's going to go. If I have a crystal ball and everything goes perfectly, everyone's waiting, meaning the 55 division, the 70 division, and Paddy, Conor, everyone is waiting to see what happens with Bilal Muhammad, JDM, May 10th at UFC 315. If JDM wins that fight, Islam goes, all right, forget 55. I'm going to go to 70. Right? And then Ilia Topuria will fight for the vacant title at 55. I assume Islam's going to have to give it up. So you could possibly get Conor out of bed, Conor get his shit together, because everyone still thinks Paddy's the easiest fight in the top 10. He's going to be a top 10 guy now, no doubt. All these vets, including Conor McGregor, think they can get one over on Paddy. They're sorely mistaken. Paddy's still getting better. Every fight he's getting better. I'm telling you, he's your next face of the UFC. But Conor's like, all right, this kid's a big name. He's the face of England. His striking isn't world class. Again, they're sorely mistaken. I will fight Paddy. So I think you're going to get Islam moves up. Again, a perfect world. Bilal Muhammad could fuck all this up. But Islam could move up, and then you have the vacant title at 55. All Paddy needs is one more. They're not going to go Paddy Topuria right now. It doesn't make sense. But what makes all the sense, and we'll get more views than Islam Topuria, John Jones, Tom Aspinall, is Conor McGregor, Paddy Pimblett. Paddy beats Conor. Then Paddy becomes the biggest star in the UFC. That's the perfect world for the UFC. And that's all predicated on one freaking fight that's not going to get a ton of views, that no one's really talking about, but the pressure of JDM winning against Bilal Muhammad it's the butterfly effect. It affects the 55 division, which is by far the best in the UFC, and it affects the 70-pound division. Because if Bilal Muhammad wins, which he very likely does, but if Bilal Muhammad wins, then Islam's like, all right, I'm not fighting my boy. He goes to 55. So let's do that. If Bilal does win, Islam doesn't fight him. Islam comes back to 55. You get Ilia Topuria and Islam, guaranteed. Islam, Ilia Topuria. Let's say Conor still doesn't have a shit together, doesn't fight Paddy. So then Paddy's like, all right, who's next in line? Well, there's two guys. That's going to happen. You're going to get, I think, if I'm the UFC, I'm strategically going to match up Paddy to have success. I'm not saying it's an easy fight. I love this guy. I've known this guy forever. This is no knock on him. I'm just saying, stylistically, out of the top three guys to get, and this is what we want. If I'm the UFC, this is what we want to do. We want to get Paddy to have enough credibility to fight for the title. We can't jump right to Topuria. It's not happening. We can't jump right to Islam. It doesn't make fucking sense. You just beat Chandler. What you would do is you'd look, Charles Oliveira, it's a tough fight, but he could do it. He beat Chandler worse than Charles did. That's a great fight. That would, if he beats him, definitely title shot, right? But still risky. We need to protect this kid. You do Justin Gaethje, Paddy Pimblett, in order to get him to the title shot to fight Topuria. Beating Topuria, we'll get there. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. It's a heavy ask. But out of the top three guys at 55, you have Poirier, Charles Oliveira, Justin Gaethje. Poirier's a tough one. Charles Oliveira's a tough one. Can Paddy beat them? Yeah, he can. But it's tough, man. He'd be an underdog in both those. But the one guy there with a huge hole in his game is Justin Gaethje. He's coming off a win, and you beat Justin Gaethje, no one's going to complain if he gets a title shot. So, if Conor doesn't get shit together, if Islam stays at 55, you can do Justin Gaethje, Paddy Pimblett. That's what I would do. You protect the golden goose. You're like, Justin Gaethje? Listen, it's a tough day in the fucking office. But pick your poison. Out of Charles Oliveira, Dustin Poirier, and Justin Gaethje, stylistically. Not saying Justin can't fucking knock his lights out. He can knock anybody out. He's one of the greatest to ever do it. But stylistically, Justin Gaethje matches up very poorly with Paddy Pimblett. Paddy can beat Justin. Paddy can beat Charles. Paddy can beat Dustin Poirier, but they're tougher fights. Stylistically, out of those three gentlemen, Justin Gaethje is the one you want if you're the Paddy camp. So Sarukin's kind of left out here. Unfortunately, Sarukin's the odd man out. Big time. But yeah, it's not too late to jump on the Paddy train. Come on aboard. He's not in the. You got what time will they come out with the rankings tomorrow? Yep. You can't jump on board when he's the top 10. It's too late. So this can come out today. It's Monday, April 14th at 9:49 a.m. You have about 24 hours. You have 24 hours to jump up, because once in the top 10, it's too late. Get off his nuts. You're late to the party. Because when the rankings come out tomorrow, it's gonna be in the top 10. Get on now. Get whatever tweet you got to do, whatever Instagram fucking post you got to do to support Paddy. Do it now, because if you wait till tomorrow when the rankings come out and he's the top 10, it's too late. Oh, you like the guy in the top 10? Let's take a little break from this breakdown of UFC 314, this juicy podcast, because this episode of the Schaub Show is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. because Progressive offers discounts for paying in full, owning a home, and more. Plus, you can count on their great customer service to help you when you need it, so your dollar goes a long way. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save on car insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates. Potential savings will vary, not available in all states or situations. Progressive. Now let's get to the main event. Volkanovski, Diego Lopes. Diego Lopes, this fight wasn't close. I know one that just had 3-2. In my mind, told my family, I went, because I know how these fucking idiot judges work, I said, some of these judges are going to have it 3-2. There's no way you can give Diego Lopes the fight. But some of these idiots will have it 3-2. One of them might have it 4-1. 4-1, I guess you give him the second round. Even though he was losing the entire round and clipped him at the end. I'll give you 4-1. I had it 5-0. 4-1, you're not an idiot. 3-2, you're an idiot. 4-1, all good. All good. But you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Should be 5-0. This fight wasn't fucking close. Diego Lopes bought off way more than he can chew. Skill-wise, he's not even the same fucking universe as Volkanovski. Volkanovski ran circles around this dude. Circles. It was a matador. But this matador was constantly taking angles. And every time Diego Lopes he was getting a jab, leg kick, or a hook. Every single fucking time. Yeah, but he defended takedowns good. That's just to mix it up, keep him on his toes, and wear his ass out. Diego Lopes ain't nowhere near the skill level of Volkanovski. Not even the same ballpark. You're talking AA to majors. Not even close. That's a little league baseball reference for you. AA to majors. Majors, big boys. Big boys. Volkanovski's in the majors. Diego Lopes, AA right now. He's just not there. He's not there. And also, what got Diego Lopes to the dance was kind of being a little reckless and dangerous. And for whatever reason, his team went, oh, let's stop doing what got us to the dance and let's try to go toe for toe with Volkanovski, the most talented featherweight of all time. And he just got eaten alive for fucking 25 minutes. In the first 2 rounds, at no point did you think, we got to go what got us to the dance, start getting reckless. You might get taken down. You have a great chin. He might land some shots, but we got to start taking some chances here. Nope. We're just going to chase him around the entire time and get picked fucking apart. This fight wasn't close. Anyone that knows fighting, when you watch the footwork of this, you're like, oh, unless Diego Lopes lands some wild shot, or unless Volkanovski throws all caution in the wind and does the stupid fucking Max Holloway thing where he points to the ground and Volkanovski, okay, and just gets fucking knocked out, he doesn't beat him 100 times out of 100. This fight wasn't even remote. This was the biggest mismatch on the card. After watching the results, this fight wasn't close. Volkanovski's footwork, his angles, constantly turning his big ass, constantly turning his ass with the emo haircut, constantly turning, leg kick, jab, leg hook, jab, body shot, leg kick, takedown. Diego's doing this the whole time. He just couldn't get set for 25 minutes. It just drives me nuts. At no point did the coaches go, all right, we can't compete with this guy tit for tat. We just can't. You're just not there. You got to do what got you to the dance. Let's start getting a little wild. So flying knees, fucking spinning back, whatever the fuck you want to do. But throw this game plan that we've worked on for 8 weeks out the window. You're never going to beat this guy doing what we're currently doing. Unless he makes an error, which he does in the Ilya Topuria fight and the Makhachev fight. He can make some errors. But after that, whatever it was, a year off, that motherfucker was not making errors. He got clipped, and I was like, oh, shit. Pop right back up, though. That was the big knock on him. If he gets clipped, how's he respond? Pretty fucking good. And again, if you go back to Monday's show, I said this. I said I'm rooting for Volkanovski. He's better in every fucking facet. Kickboxing, boxing, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, cardio, 5-round fight, former multi-time world champion. He beats Lopes across the board skill-wise. This isn't even comparison. But how's his chin hold up when he gets hit? Held up pretty good, and he only really ate one shot. You could say 2, but really one significant shot. Diego Lopes was got a master class in world champion fighting. He's just not there. He's not there. He's not there. It's frustrating to watch, to be honest. But Volkanovski and Paddy Pimblett won the fight. Hell yeah. It was a great night for me. One of the best UFC cards in a hot fucking second. It was so good to see Volkanovski win. I don't buy the narrative of Volkanovski versus Yair Rodriguez. Yair Rodriguez, one fight, lost the one prior to that to a guy that Volkanovski's already beat. He beat an old, weathered Patricio Pitbull. I don't see it. And I know Volkanovski wants to, and hopefully he learns from his past, jumping into fights too soon. I think you do Yair and Diego Lopes in Guadalajara as the main event or co-main event, whatever the hell you want to do, and let those two fight out. And then Yair beats him. Now we're cooking. Now you could do a title fight. But to go right from Patricio to Volkanovski, and then featherweight's so good. God damn, featherweight is good. Featherweight is fantastic. Because you got Aaron Pico coming too. What are you going to do with that? There's the rumors of Mosarv, but I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. Look at fucking featherweight. Apparently Max and Dustin Poirier are going to fight, so that takes Max out of it. Volkanovski's your champ. Topier's out. Diego Lopes, just not there. Mosarv, he's just, again, he's kind of like that Sarukian, where you're like, fuck, he's good. What are we going to do with him? You got Ortega there. Yeah, Rodriguez, Arnold Allen, yep. Bryce Mitchell is 13, so you're going to drop him, and then you're going to throw Silva into the rankings. I'll tell you what, if you want to take my fucking money, you want to blow me hard, or you want to blow me away, you would do Silva versus Lopez, first team all violence, BMF title. You do that. But again, Silva has a long ways to go too. Silva has a long ways to go. His resume's not there, but maybe those guys will take it. Great night, though. Great night. So happy for Volkanovski. Happy for Paddy. I think I basically called every fight right. Didn't bet on the Bryce Mitchell fight because that whole spell.
Multiple things, but yeah, the spell is one of them.
The spell. I was like, whoa. Silva threw a spell on him? Not betting on it. Bryce Mitchell's a dog. Not betting on it. Is he going to sleep? No one could confirm or deny that, so not betting on it. Great night of fights.
Yeah, I was so happy for Volk too, and that was, to me, at least for this year, that's like my favorite fight for this year. It was exciting.
It was a masterclass in footwork. When you guys watch fighting, you should look at Volkanovski the same way you look at Lomachenko. Remember Lomachenko's footwork, and it was like, oh my god, his foot. That's Volkanovski. Masterclass. He's a bullfighter in a very small cage, and Diego Lopes was the bull, and he just got eaten alive. Not even the same planet skill-wise. It's tough. They're all fucking tough. I hate when people say that. Yeah, they're all fucking tough, man. They're in the UFC.
It looked crazy, too, because the last three fights, like, it was, the size discrepancy was pretty crazy. Like, yeah, Yair looked way bigger than Patricio.
Yep. Paddy looked huge.
Yeah. And then, dude, Diego looked way bigger than Volk, too, but Volk just handled it.
Yeah, Volk beat the shit out of him. I hope he takes his time, doesn't rush back to Guadalajara and fight Yair.
That's why he didn't name any. You know, they're asking, like, who do you want next?
They always, I hate when they do that. What's next? Oh, I don't know, dude. I just got done with a 5-round fight.
And you're the champ. It's not your job.
There's a lot of shit to figure out there, too. Yeah. But remember that you're throwing fucking Aaron Pico in that mix, too. Is no Punk.
Yeah. Aaron Pico actually said that he thinks that Jean Silva should be next for Volk. I'll say this, though. That Jean Silva guy.
That's insane.
It is insane, but that guy has, like, the confidence that he exudes. I can feel like he's so confident
I would too if I had his skill set going against Bryce Mitchell. Let's see if he has that confidence when they give him Yair Rodriguez or Diego Lopes. He's fought cans, to be honest, dude. You know, I'd be fucking confident too, and that's what you're supposed to do. These fucking dudes up. His whole camp is confident that these boys haven't lost.
Yeah. Fighting nerds.
The fighting nerds haven't lost, so yeah, they're all fucking high and mighty. You know, I get it, but all of them boys, all of them about to start getting some fucking dogs. Let's see if they keep the same energy. Yeah, just rubbed me the wrong way. He was jumping on the cage to make sure the camera got, and they missed it. He's like, "You do it again." Jumping, I'm like, "Oh no, it has to be natural, dude. Just you want to do it in the passionate way, and it's all natural." He's like, "Make sure you get it." He literally did it 6 times. It's like when they had the cold. Remember the ice bucket challenge? There was this trainer at the gym, and I was like, "Oh, I can't ever talk to him again," because he shot 4 different angles, 4 different times the ice bucket challenge. And I went, "Oh, that's not authentic." Oh, check please.
Yeah, that's gross.
With Silva, when he kept jumping on the first time, oh, here we go. There it is. You gonna do it again? Okay, here we go. 3rd time. Okay, 4, 5, 6. I'm out. 6. I'm out. They got it. There's cameras all over that fucking place. They got it. Go jump on the cage doing the Spider-Man barking dog thing. Again, I'd be confident too. He was so confident going because Bryce can't strike. His takedowns weren't shit. So he's like, yeah, fuck yeah, dude. You're beating up the kid, the flat earther on the playground. You're fucking stoked. Let's see if he's as stoked when they give him Diego Lopes, Yair Rodriguez. And for Aaron Pico, Bud, and I love Aaron. You know this. I'm just trying to be silly here. But Bud, this ain't Bellator. You think Silva's going to jump from Bryce Mitchell, exhausted, no sleep Bryce Mitchell, flat earther, pro Hitler, to fucking Alexander Volkanovski? Oh, Aaron. This isn't Bellator. We do have some sort of sense of order here. You're going to have to walk through murderer's fucking row to get there. You have to. This ain't Bellator, bud. He ain't fighting for the title. I know, he looks so good. I get it. Bryce hasn't slept in 3 fucking months. Okay? And he still thinks the earth is flat. Okay? You ain't getting a title shot beating that. You ain't getting a title. It ain't. I can guarantee you that doesn't happen. This ain't Bellator. This ain't PFL. That shit don't fly here. If anything, Silva might get Aaron Pico. They could do that. It's a lot for Silva, though, man. But everyone's, prisoner of the moment. Oh, my God, Silva's the best featherweight ever. Dude, he's better than Aldo in his prime. Okay. That's how it goes. I get it. I'm excited to see him go on, too. I'm just not ready to fucking, He passed the first step. Where's this energy with Paddy? Where was this energy with Ian Gary Machado? That's what I don't get. Paddy's beat some good fucking guys. Bryce has beat some good fucking guys. Ian Machado Gary's beat some good fucking guys. Oh, no, he ain't ready. You know what? Topuria would do those guys. Then Silva jumps on the cage, barks like a dog, beats a guy and slept in 3 years, still thinks the earth is flatter than he did before the fight. And we're like, Silva! That's MMA, dude. You're like, okay. Nah, man. I love Aaron Pico, but this ain't Bellator. There's a sense of fucking order here, usually. You have your outliers, but there's a sense of order here. Let's take a little break, then we'll jump right back in this juicy episode of The Schaub Show, because The Schaub Show is brought to you by Sure Shot, the world's first alcohol detoxifier that reduces blood alcohol content in as little as 30 minutes. Maybe you watch UFC 314 with the boys. You're a little hungover. You're like, man, I don't want to do this again. We'll go ahead and do it again. Because I got your back with Sure Shot. Get a 4-pack. You wake up, sharper mind and body, liver support, well-being boost, gut support, hydration. Just go to sureshot.com. Promo code is Brendan. You get 10% off. Or pick up on TikTok Shop, your local Bevmo. Pick a 4-pack up for you and the boys. Be a good homie. Sureshot.com. Promo code Brendan. What else you got, Jen?
Let's start with this one because I'm very curious. What happened with, do you have any insider information with GFL not doing the shows anymore? Their debut shows?
I mean, I got the same info as you guys did. I talked to the owner,
Darren Owen?
Darren, Apparently, their big funder, the way it works, they have to reserve the venue like months out, commission months out, and then put a down deposit. Apparently, their main funder pulled out. Like, when there has to be, you have to put some sort of deposit down. The guy didn't do it. Just went MIA. Hasn't heard from him. So I don't know. It's fighting. Nothing surprises me. Hopefully they figure it out. But it is what it is.
And this is Darren talking to Yahoo Sports.
Working on a main solution. My main investor didn't fulfill his April obligation. That's with a commission. You have to put down a deposit to reserve the venue. And the guy was like, I'm out. Which caused a problem. I'll keep you posted. Our leader will be able to work through it. I think we can make it happen in June. That's what they're telling me is June, but probably not California. Additionally, I don't foresee an event taking place in California, but we absolutely will keep pushing forward. I think we're going to have to push the dates, in June 15th and 16th. I'll confirm ASAP. It's been a frustrating week. There's a solution in place. Yeah, it's tough. We're trying to do a big promotion, pay all these, veteran star fighters. You got to have some bank, man. And his main investor pulled out. So what do you do?
I was super stoked for that event, too.
Yeah, would have been fun.
Yeah. Alrighty. So I think MMA Junkie asked Dana White about the new UFC TV deal because I guess
it's up in April, right? End of April?
Tomorrow. It's done tomorrow.
Shit.
So they have to make a decision.
Shit. I thought they had the rest of the year.
So here is what Dana said on it.
Window opens, we'll obviously start talking to lots of different people, and we'll see what the options are out there. We've said this every time. There could be a time when we end up on several different networks like sports, like all other sports do.
That's what they're going to do.
I like ESPN, and I've said it many times. We had a bit of a rocky start, which is normal in any relationship, but we're in a great place with ESPN. Whether we re-sign with them or do not, I have nothing but great things to say about my time at ESPN.
And when you think ahead, do you want to stick to the same schedule format, 43 events a year?
I don't know. It depends on what ESPN or wherever else we go is looking for. Most of the times when you do these deals, you're catering to what the network needs. Plus, they'll have other programming, other sports that they need to, that they're already committed to with certain times and seasons and whatever it may be. So it always changes.
Yeah, there's been
it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me.
Right. There's been the various, reporting out there from kind of media reporting outlets saying the price tag you guys are looking for is $1 billion a year. Is that something you can confirm that would be?
Sounds good to me. When the window.
And he also talked about if it wasn't pay-per-view, if it's structured just like a Netflix where it's just you pay your amount.
Not happening.
I know you always talked about that. They always do.
UFC will never give up that pay-per-view money ever. So I think it's going to end up like the rest of the sports. Dana knows exactly where they're going. He's not, alluding to that. He knows exactly that. If you think the TV right deal's up in April, they don't already have a home, you don't know Dana White. He already knows exactly where they're going. Sounds like it's probably going to be some on ESPN. In regards to him saying, is it still going to be 43 fights a year? He's like, I don't know. It depends on the network. No one has more sports than ESPN, and there's still 43 fights a year on there. So they'll continue to do that. Now, the Ultimate Fighter, Dana White Contender Series, that could be a different animal. I think they pull some away from ESPN, and they do some fight nights on Netflix, maybe some bullshit on Amazon. I think they're going to be like the NFL. They're going to be all over the place. It's going to be hard to keep up. In regards to the $1 billion price tag, I don't know. I do know current viewing's down and current appeal of the UFC is down across the board. Whatever you do regarding mixed martial arts, content's numbers are down across the board. Now people argue and Dana did this with Slap Fight League. Our numbers on social media are bigger. But companies like, NBC, ABC, Amazon, Netflix, ESPN really don't give a fuck about that. They care about straight numbers, viewership of your programming, not your supplementary stuff like social media. So maybe UFC is bigger on social media apps, and they're going to try and push that narrative. But those big boys don't give a flying fuck. They don't care. They care about what your numbers are doing. And UFC overall, MMA in general, is in a rough spot. We have no stars. Women's fighting's never been worse. I think the talent pool, especially in America, I'm speaking from America. I can't speak for the rest of the world because it's different. But in America, it's down across the board, talent-wise. And I remember when I was coming up, people were like, man, can you imagine me, a young kid now? They're training MMA. They're not training earthquake detected. I didn't feel shit. They're trained. Remember, the whole narrative was these young kids are trained MMA. And there's going to be a surplus. Guys that were in the NFL are going to come to the UFC instead of going to the NFL or NBA or MLB. They're going to come to the UFC. It just hasn't happened. So the talent crop is a lot lower. You're getting, in the way the UFC is doing it. And again, it's working for their model, but you're getting Dana White Contender Series with guys with like 4 fights, 5 fights, 6 fights, but they're not a specialty in anything. And then they get in there with guys who have credentials, Dagestanis or high-level kickboxers or world-class jiu-jitsu guys, and they're eating them alive. We're in a down slope right now, to be honest with you. We're not getting that crop of talent. You're not getting those NCAA wrestlers come over anymore. I think some of it's a money thing. Guys are realizing the juice isn't worth the squeeze. They got to figure it out. It's not, the state of MMA is not great right now in America. International, you can tell the UFC's focused on international. Paddy, Machado, Gary, Islam, Alex. You look at all the champs, Zhang
Weili.
Sure. She fights 3 girls, but yeah.
China, though, huge.
I know, huge. But Dana knows exactly where they're going. I think it's going to be on multiple different networks. Pay-per-view is probably going to stay on ESPN. And then you get some fight nights on Netflix. I don't think it's going to be like they're going to be exclusive to any network. I just don't see that happening. I think it's easier for the stay at ESPN, and ESPN gets the pay-per-views and Dana White Contender Series and the bullshit, Ultimate Fighter and stuff like that nobody watches. But they're going to get Dana White Contender Series and the pay-per-views, which is good enough for ESPN. Because remember, ESPN lost MLB and NBA. So it's huge. So they have some money there. And then Netflix to get your fight nights, I think. Or Amazon or something like that. And ESPN sticks with pay-per-views and Dana White Contender Series. And then they're like, okay, we'll take Ultimate Fighter, even though nobody's watching. But Dana knows exactly what they're doing. They don't wait to the month of to figure it out. They're a billion-dollar business.
Oh, and this is also...
And also, knowing Dana, if they were to leave the UFC, he wouldn't have said great things about him. Dana, he scorches the fucking earth, especially all the problems they've had. He's like, I have nothing bad to say. They've been great. They're going to end up at ESPN again. Somewhat.
Yeah, so this is an article I saw on MMA Fighting. It says ESPN executive not concerned about failing to close.
That guy looks so tired. That guy looks like Paddy Pimblett in the octagon. That guy looks so fucking exhausted.
He does look very worked.
Yeah, because ESPN's fucking drowning. They went all woke. You watch it, you're like, what the fuck is this? Stephen A. Smith is running for president.
Jimmy Pitaro.
So this is him,
Yep.
the tired ESPN executive. The exclusive negotiating window is expiring, but I wouldn't read too much into that. Well, okay. We're not hyper-focused on that window. We can see that deal's in place a bit. We know there's going to be interest in the UFC, and that's great for the sport. It's great for them, but we remain interested in trying to figure something out with those guys. Just a bunch of nothing there. UFC is great for the sport. They're great for us. We're good for them. We're interested in working something out. Nothing. UFC has been really good to ESPN. We launched ESPN Plus, and really the UFC property is the marquee property, of course. Fast forward to today, steals the marquee property for ESPN. ESPN's just fallen off a fucking cliff since when I was a kid. Losing baseball is insane. We also at the same time believe that we have a great partner in the UFC in terms. Yeah, they're working together. Look how they're jacking each other off. They're great, Dana. They're great. They're gonna fucking figure it out.
I still hate the app, dude. always
I've
gives
only
me
had
troubles.
that one issue.
Only once?
Only once. Only
Oh,
had one
man.
issue.
I have
ever.
constant issues.
Might be your service, Doug.
No, it's the
I
app.
feel it's like a you problem.
No, dude.
What else you got?
This I thought was. Hold on. This is pretty awesome and
He's on
shows how much
Patrick
confidence
Bet-
your boy
Bet David.
Yeah, Patrick Bet
This
David.
is Ilya says he'll ask Makhachev what his favorite submission is and submit him with in front of Khabib.
Yeah,
Jesus
the
Christ.
confidence in him is crazy. So check it out.
Personally, I would ask him, like, what's your favorite submission? Whatever. I don't know. Dark show. I'm going to submit you with that.
So if you ask him what his favorite submission is, you would do that to him.
Yeah.
This is a guy that's trained and coached by Khabib, who, 28-0, stories that he's never lost a round in his
I
life.
take him close to Khabib. I will submit him closer to Khabib.
Jesus
You
Christ.
submit him in front of Khabib.
Yeah. I take him. Khabib used to take people and he shoulder take them down and talk to Dana. I would do it to Khabib. Like, I will take him, but
And then talk to Khabib.
talk to Khabib. Khabib, I have to do it.
If Ilya was a
Me
little
personally, I
taller,
would
you'd see
ask
my
him what-
my signature on that wall. If he's a little taller, I'm right above him. Yeah, I mean, Ilya is a fucking monster. As far as submitting Makhachev, more like his strike, his best advantage over Islam is his striking, his boxing. That's where he's an outlier. You could submit him though, if he like wobbles Islam. I hope he does, but tough task. Islam's so fucking good.
Yeah, but
especially grappling.
when you see him talk like this, it's like that Jean Silva guy. The amount of confidence, I can actually feel like he believes it. Like he actually believes
Different
it.
though. I'm not sold on Silva, but the shit he says on it, like, remember when Conor was coming, he'd say something like, Jesus Christ. Remember he's like, I'm gonna knock Silva, or I'm gonna knock Jose Aldo out in this, and you're like, what? And he's like, left hook. You're like, yeah, right, and then he does it. It's because those guys, they're at that level. Like Topir is at that level. Like Topir has knocked out Max Holloway, knocked out fucking Volkanovski. He's done it. The proof's in the pudding. So when he says it, I know everyone's like, dude, it's never happening. It's like, well, it could. If anyone's going to do it, it's this fucking guy. No one's fucking knocked out Max Holloway. No one knocks out fucking Volkanovski like that. Like, that's insane, dude. So when he says it, you should probably listen. You know, he has a better chance than anybody to do it. Now, that's easier said than done. But when these other guys say it, it's like, I'm not convinced yet. But Topira has the wins to be able to say that.
Yeah.
Changed his nickname, huh? He's no longer the El Matador. He's the legend.
He does that. He changes his his handles as well.
No, he changed his handle before the fight to champion. Mm-hmm. No, he changed his fucking actual UFC name, registered it different. So he went from El Matador to the
Legend?
the Legend, whatever the fuck that is in Spanish.
Legende? I don't know. All right, this is just a quick one. So Amanda Nunes she was inducted into the Hall of Fame, and they just announced it, the last UFC. And then plus she said they were asking her, I think at a press conference thing, like
she was clapping.
if she's coming back in. She says, and then she is kind of eyeing the Kayla Harris.
She's only going to come back if Kayla wins, I think.
Okay, but that'd be a fun comeback.
Mm-hmm. The division needs her so bad. Mm-hmm. Her versus Kayla Harrison's fantastic. That's by far the best fight. That's your John Jones, Tom Aspinall for the women's division.
And what do you think of this? Jim Miller saying that his ideal opponent for his last fight, which would be the 50th fight in the UFC, which is crazy, he would want Justin Gaethje.
It's not happening.
Okay.
Yeah, and I want a GT40. It's not happening. You want Justin Gaethje? Cool. It's not happening. Justin's ranked in the top 5. I don't know why Justin would take that fight. And that'd be a nightmare and I love Jim Miller. That'd be a nightmare.
Yeah, so it is pretty trippy that he would want to fight.
You don't end on that.
He even says it's a train wreck of a fight, which is like,
yeah, it's not. It's just not happening.
Alrighty, here's another quick one. This is Anthony Pettis talking about that iconic kick on Benson Henderson. and there's a cameraman on the cage. You know when he jumped up and he hit his foot on the cage? Apparently he hit the cameraman's nuts.
Makes it even better.
Yeah, exactly. Check it out.
Did that kid? The guy who's recording on the cage, I kicked him in the nuts, and then I kicked Yvette in the face with the same foot. So the camera guy's like, ugh.
You kicked the cameraman?
The cameraman that's recording,
Hilarious.
I kicked him in the nuts. Look at, He told me after the fight, he's like, bro, that's a double hit. So you got me out and him out. So when I did that kick.
So that adds to that moment. So back to Jean Silva. He was asking a reporter if they talked to Dana White. He wants Dana White to be at his wedding and pay for
And pay for it?
pay for his wedding singer. I'll just play this clip for you real quick. Let me refresh.
Jean Silva was back here, and he asked me to ask you this. His goal is to get married to his partner in a
Gay
church, and he offered to make you
partner,
the best man
his
at
wife,
wedding
bitch,
if you would pay for
his
the wedding.
girlfriend, his fiance.
Well, wait a minute. So he wants to marry his partner
in a church,
and
he offered to make you.
I'm the best man if I pay for it.
Apparently, there's some Brazilian singer he wants that is out of his price range. He asked me to pass the message along.
I'm going to need more information on this, but I'm probably in.
He's probably in.
He won't be his best man, but I bet you he pays for the singer.
Yeah.
He won't be his best
That'd
man.
be great.
Is there anything more lame than partner? Only really gay people talk like, that's my partner, you know?
I think they're trying to cover all bases, like just in case he might be.
So gay.
I know. Oh, this will be the last one. So this guy hawked a loogie into this other guy's face during weights. Hold on. Press conference. You saw how much came out, right?
Oh. Solid spit, though. Jesus Christ.
So the opponent comes back with a spit guard.
Our main event tomorrow night.
Who won the fight?
Thank God. I don't know if we can show this, but yeah, the dude that got spit on won the fight. He knocked him down like at least like 2 or 3 times. So that's good.
Jesus Christ.
All right, that is it. There's no fights that I saw coming up, at least this next week. So,
Oh, we're just waiting for that countdown, that butterfly effect of UFC 315. My God, there's a lot riding on that. Oh, hello, Dons. Want to say hi to everybody? Hello. Yeah, there's a lot riding on that. Keep going down.
Mm-hmm.
That card is terrible. God damn it.
It's not terrible.
For a pay-per-view? You want me to pay for that? I mean, Jesus, man, that card's fucking terrible. Jesus Christ, look at that main card. Fuck.
Not the best for
They
sure.
got me at UFC 314, though. I still love you guys. It's real to me.
Still real to me.
It's real to me, damn it. It's real to me. All right, I'm going to let that rain on our party because UFC 314 was fantastic.
Awesome,
yeah, I'll take it. All right, kids, that's it. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, do your thing. Next giveaway starts May 1st, and it's a spicy meatball. Love you guys. Like, subscribe, do all the things. Say goodbye, Dons. Bye, guys. I'm out.